On James' farmland, things were gradually slipping out of control. Young corn rows were being torn apart after only a few nights. The soil had been dug up and fences had been broken. The culprits were none other than a group of wild boars that had begun treating the area as their new territory. They would move in and disappear quickly into the southern forest before sunrise. Without timely control measures, James' entire harvest could disappear within just a few weeks. After surveying the area, we chose to approach from the higher forest side. The observation point was positioned where the entire route commonly used by the boars could be monitored. From above, every movement beneath the canopy became clearly visible. The boars entered without realizing the area had already been under surveillance. We did not rush. The most important task was to confirm their numbers and direction of movement to ensure that any intervention could be carried out safely for the surrounding farms. Once everything was under control, the management plan was implemented in a coordinated manner. The first cultivated area was temporarily secured. We continued searching through the forest as the light improved. Daytime made it much easier to observe tracks and identify hiding locations. Several individuals had separated from the group and were concealed beneath thick layers of leaves. Distinct signs such as dark coats and freshly formed trails made their locations easier to identify. After a period of careful control and proper guidance, the area gradually became quiet again. The risk of nighttime damage was significantly reduced. The hot weather required adjustments in movement. Wild boars often seek shaded thickets to cool themselves, as their ability to sweat is extremely limited. This survival characteristic makes it easier to predict their movements. Rather than searching randomly, we focused on dense vegetation near water sources and shaded areas. By understanding their behavior, it became possible to establish control points effectively without excessive movement in harsh weather conditions. As we moved deeper into the dense brush, the level of risk increased considerably. Visibility became limited, and every movement required careful planning. The trained dogs began to play a crucial role. They moved efficiently through the thick vegetation, tracking scents and signaling whenever fresh signs were detected. Their assistance significantly reduced the amount of time required to locate the animals. Instead of searching every section, we could concentrate directly on the areas that required attention. Through the cooperation between people and their animal partners, the management process became both more accurate and much safer. Before we could fully assess the situation, a signal from the west indicated suspicious movement. However, the direction of travel matched the original plan. There was no concern and no need for a prolonged pursuit. The boars were moving directly toward the area where James had already established a control point. Information was quickly relayed through an iPhone to ensure every position was prepared. There was no need for a lengthy chase, only the need to hold positions. As the boars entered the familiar corridor, the entire plan began to work as intended. The control operation was carried out efficiently and safely for the surrounding area. Before darkness completely settled in, we conducted one final inspection. Dense areas were carefully checked to ensure that no individuals remained hidden near the cultivated land. Control efforts do not end at a single moment. They require continuous monitoring to prevent the risk of reappearance during the following nights. Once every area had been confirmed safe, the fields could finally return to a stable condition. James' family was finally able to enjoy a peaceful night, something that had not happened for many weeks. Managing wild boar populations is not an easy choice, but for farms that depend entirely on their harvests, it remains the only way to protect livelihoods and maintain balance across this land.
Armed with specialized weapons and modern gear, we move straight to our assigned positions. After days of waiting, the wild boars finally show up. Quickly, we adjust our scopes and track their direction. The first shot rings out, taking down the lead boar. The rest scatter, but other shooters are ready. Signals are passed. Every position coordinates flawlessly, cutting off every escape route. This encounter is not just a test of patience and tactics, it's a mark of the team's synergy and rare luck. Continuing the chase, we move to higher ground, expanding our view over the foothills. Familiar shadows swiftly dart across our sight. The first bullet fires, but the distance makes a clean kill tough. Even with clearer vision, these agile black shapes vanish quickly, leaving a sting of regret, heightening the hunt's intensity. Seeing the pressure mount, Nick acts fast. He sends a lookout up high to spot targets and immediately alert the team below for a swift strike. Once the plan kicks in, each wild boar that appears is quickly surrounded. No escape routes left. After relentless pressure, we finally reclaim this area from the beast's claws. The detonations ring out, startling the boars into a panicked retreat down the hillside, hiding deep in thick brush. Kevin's team is immediately tasked with controlling this zone. After hours of intense tracking, each target falls, one by one. Peace is restored. While Kevin fights hard, the hunting dogs don't miss a beat, sniffing out the prey quickly. The boars rush forward in desperation. Look, the hounds remember their craft perfectly, leading the way and forcing the boar into the open. Thanks to them, my shot lands just in time, taking down the target before it escapes. One more threat neutralized, bringing peace back to the locals. Meanwhile, on the eastern hillside, Nick's team faces a tense chase. After nerve-wracking moments, he finally intercepts the wild boars as planned. Using every skill, Nick tightens the pressure, leaving no chance for escape. A deadly volley ends the thrilling pursuit. As evening light fades and darkness creeps in, the last targets reveal themselves just before nightfall. Within minutes, none can outrun the precise, decisive shots fired. At last, the locals can breathe easy, no longer fearing the destructive wild boars. The hunt is meticulously prepared by Thomas's team. As the late afternoon light begins to fade, they silently drive towards the foothills of the French countryside. Each member is professional, equipped with the best gear, ready to face whatever comes their way. Despite only having a vague idea of the wild boar's movements, they quickly pinpoint their location and possible routes of escape. Soon, a boar appears within their sights. Thomas adjusts the scope, and as the target enters his crosshairs, he squeezes the trigger. The shot rings out, powerful and precise. The boar drops. The sound of the gunshot serves as a clear warning, ending the intrusion of these wild beasts into their territory. Thanks to that victory, the team moves with greater urgency, tracking down new targets. After only a few minutes, another boar appears through the binoculars. Without hesitation, a bullet is fired, dead on target. Nice! Even though it tries to escape, it stands no chance against the sharpest marksman of the team. Without their skill, I can't imagine what would happen to this place. I thought the team might shift direction, but instead, they pressed deeper into the terrain. It seems they've spotted the boars nearby. There they are! Quickly, they divide and take up strategic positions. Every shot is perfectly placed, almost flawlessly so. No boar can escape their control. The team has the situation firmly in hand. With their experience and knowledge of the boar's habits, Thomas's team quickly moves into position. Within minutes, familiar shapes emerge in the distance. With precise aim, Thomas doesn't hesitate, squeezing the trigger. Couldn't help but marvel at their skill. Without their expertise, this place would surely have suffered much more destruction. As darkness envelops the landscape, we thought the hunt might be over. But no, they swiftly switch to a night hunting strategy. Using modern technology, the hunt continues without pause. I wondered how they could track wild boars in the dark. The answer is a compact night vision scope, capable of revealing everything hidden in the shadows. The once hidden shapes now become clear as day. Seizing the opportunity, a series of sharp shots ring out, each one finding its mark as the boars attempt to flee. After several tense minutes, only the fallen boars remain, their threat eliminated. The land is saved from further destruction by these vicious beasts. After the echoes of the gunfire fade, silence settles over the land, but the hunters don't stop. They press on with their mission. Their patience is finally rewarded as more targets emerge. This time, there are even more than before. Without hesitation, the team moves in. As soon as the boars are in the crosshairs, another shot rings out. One by one, the boars fall, and peace is finally restored to a land that has been plagued by chaos for too long. Thanks to the dedication and intelligence of Thomas's team, we are spared from further devastation by these wild creatures.